Everybody, I just wanted to do a video about I've seen some videos on YouTube recently about guitar players, and so I'm going to do a string of videos about, I guess, more opinionated. Just want to kind of throw it out that it's a subjective video, so you don't have to agree with me, and you don't have to get mad about it if you don't agree with some of the things that I will say here. But so what I wanted to do is, I saw a video the other day on Facebook. It's from a guy called Music is Win, and I believe his name is Tyler. I don't know his last name, but he's a popular guitarist / YouTuber on YouTube. And he was talking about a video about a guy who was rating the top 10 hardest songs to play on guitar. So what I wanted to do is do my own version, because I think the guy who made that isn't really a guitar player. So I'm going by my own feelings of what the hardest guitar songs are to play. Now, again, it's subjective, but you can comment, but try not to hate on anybody. Okay, please don't hate on anybody, actually. And don't hate on me. It's just subjective, it's opinionated, but these are my picks for top 10 hard songs to play on guitar. Number 10, here we go. Number 10, I would say, is Crushing Day by Joe Satriani. I first heard this back in 1987, and even then I thought it was impossible to play, but over the many years of myself practicing and playing, I found this to be true. And even though I've played this song, it's very, very difficult to really get down, and especially note for note. I haven't really seen anybody play it note for note. I don't care what anybody says. I've never seen anybody play it like the recording, which is okay, but it is a very hard song to play. So number 10, Joe Satriani, Crushing Day. Number 9, I would say Steve Vai on number 9. And I had trouble picking which song. For me, there's a song by Steve Vai that's called Rescue Me or Bury Me, which is off of the Sex and Religion album, which to me is extremely difficult, that solo in there. But I mean, you could pick pretty much any Steve Vai song and it would qualify. Tender Surrender is another hard one. Audience is Listening, Building the Church. I could go on and on with Steve Vai. So my hardest guitar songs, you pick it. Steve Vai, number 9. Number 8, I went with Too Many Notes by Steve Morse. I tried to conquer this song a few years ago, and I have not been able to conquer it yet. And I haven't had much time to spend on this song, but I want to go back to it. And it's just the arpeggios in this thing are so blistering fast and so hard. It's very hard to play. And I don't see many people covering it. I've seen a few cover it, which they were okay covers, but again, they don't play it like Steve Morse does. So Steve Morse, number 8, Too Many Notes. Number 7, I'm going with Temple of Circadia by John Petrucci, which is off his latest album. And he's another one like Steve Vai that you can pretty much pick any song from John Petrucci. And it's like super, super, super hard to play for a lot of reasons. For his technique, obviously, his alternate picking is crazy. His arpeggios, sweep picking, you name it, the guy's got it all. And so anyway, I went with that one because I listened to the new album. There's quite a few songs on that new album that are very hard to play. Number 6, Paul Gilbert, Fuzz Universe. Now, Paul Gilbert is another guy who I feel any of his songs are super difficult to play. But Fuzz Universe was like, I've seen him play it live on a video, and it's just out of this world, crazy picking. And I think he was inspired when he composed this by playing a lot of classical pieces. So, I mean, the picking's crazy. The right and left-hand techniques just crazy to keep it up to speed. I mean, you could go with a lot of stuff from Paul Gilbert. Technical difficulties, I mean, anything from his Racer X years all the way up to now. So Paul Gilbert, number 6. Number 5. I would go with Vinnie Moore, and Vinnie Moore's another one that you can pick quite a few songs that are super hard to play. I went with The Maze in particular from Vinnie Moore. But I mean, anything off Time Odyssey, I would say from Vinnie Moore, off that whole album, is super hard to play. And again, Vinnie's one of those types that can do it all. He can do the legato technique, he can do the alternate picking super fast, he can do sweep picking. But the thing about Vinnie Moore that I really enjoy is his melodic sense as well. He can really play some melodic lines as well as the shred stuff. So Vinnie Moore gets my number 5 pick. Number 4, Buckethead, Jordan. Buckethead, amazing guitarist. He's one that I've been listening to for a couple years now, and I just love his playing. And Jordan is like super, super hard, especially when he does all the finger, like he uses 4 fingers for this tapping part in the middle, and it's just insane. And I wouldn't even try to attempt it. So, and Buckethead's another one of Paul Gilbert's proteges, I guess, and pretty much all his songs are also very difficult to play. Number 3, I'm going with the Trilogy Suite Opus number 5, and also even the Icarus Dream Suite Opus 4 by Yngwie Malmsteen. Yngwie Malmsteen, incredible guitar player. You should check out that on YouTube, by the way, when he plays with the orchestra. It is phenomenal. I never was a real big fan of Yngwie, only because to me a lot of his solos sound the same, but this particular piece is like really great, and it's just super hard to play, and his picking is just flawless. So Yngwie Malmsteen, number 3. Number 2, I'm going with Altitudes by Jason Becker. Have to pay tribute to Jason Becker because of obviously he's had ALS for such a long time, and I just wish he was still playing, but he is alive and composing music. So I think it's awesome. He's a great inspiration. And the song Altitudes, I've watched a lot of people play it, and I've listened to it, and it's just off the chart, amazing song. But Jason Becker's another one of those guys who you could pretty much pick any of his solos and it'd just be like possible to play. And of course, the number 1 I picked is Through the Fire and Flames by Dragon Force, Herman Lee. I don't even know the other guy's name. I don't really listen to Dragon Force, but I do know that song. And I have watched a guy cover it, and he actually nailed it pretty good. So I guess it's not super impossible. I would not want to try to tackle this song. Some people would. I mean, I could probably play parts, but I don't know if I could go through the whole thing. So I am going to go with Through the Fire and Flames. I always had my doubts that they did something to the recording to played around with the recording, but I guess not. So I'm just going to go with it, because if you listen to that song, just how fast the tempo is, and the guitar riffs that are going on between the two, Herman Lee and the other guy, is just crazy. So I'm going with that. I have some honorable mentions. One honorable mention, of course, is Eddie Van Halen, Eruption. I think Eddie is the greatest, but as far as, remember, my top 10 is the difficulty. So Eruption, even though it is very difficult, I wouldn't say it would go in the top 10, but he gets an honorable mention. Also, Marty Friedman. Marty Friedman, to me, gets an honorable mention. He has a lot of songs that are very difficult to play, and so I'm giving Marty Friedman, particularly Miracle, which I learned not too long ago, and the arpeggios in that song are just insanely hard. And there's a lot of tunes by Marty Friedman that are hard, and of course there's many others that I could go on and on, but that's it. That's my list. Hope you enjoyed that. That's my top 10 hardest songs to play on guitar. And again, some artists had multiple songs, but that's okay. I'd like to hear your top 10 list. So go ahead and give me your top 10 lists, and we'll talk to you next time. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you again soon.